Hey, what's up, real estate team leaders? What is the most important meeting of the day? Hey, what's up, guys? Clayton and John Tiller here. What is the most important meeting of the day? Man, so I am fortunate to be in business with, and I'm biased, but one of the best operators in the entire real estate industry, John Tiller. And I resisted the most important meeting of the day for many, many years because I didn't want to be a part of the most important meeting of the day. And then John and I got into business together, and we implemented the most important meeting of the day, which is the Daily Huddle, which is what we're going to talk about today. That it elevated the culture, it elevated the accountability. Just that it's like breakfast, right? The most important meal of the day, they say, is breakfast, because you miss breakfast, then your energy is low. It's the same thing with this ever important meeting, the Daily Huddle. Like knowing team leaders, like knowing what your people did yesterday, knowing what the most important thing is today is critical. So JT, you want to jump in and break this thing down, the most important meeting of the day?
Yeah, man, absolutely. With all the things that are going on in our real estate businesses, it's easy to forget what is most important and what is the thing that moves the needle, both for us as agents and our agents, and for us as team leaders. Our job as team leaders, our number one job as team leaders, is to create an environment where people can succeed, an environment that removes distractions and reminds our salespeople what's most important. And income producing activities are what's most important. The biggest value add that we have as team leaders to our agents versus being independent is that we remove the distractions from their business, all the admin, all the marketing, all the hiring, all of it, so that they can do the things that make money, which is prospect, negotiate, and sell, right? So this daily meeting is a reminder for everybody, because we're human and we all have things that are impacting our lives and our whole lives, not just business, that affect our business. So this 15-minute huddle that we do every day, and daily is a little bit of an overstatement. We have found that 3 times a week works the best. You might find that it's 5 times a week. I wouldn't do it any less than 3 times a week. We do it Tuesday through Thursday. Each of our squads does it sometime between 8 and 9 a.m. You can change that too, but it's generally also followed by a team-wide role play. So it's a 15-minute huddle, and this is what it does, is it provides accountability for each of us to recognize what's most important in the day. So let's talk about accountability for a minute, and a rhythm of accountability and what that might look like for your team. Accountability, first of all, what it is not, it is not motivating the unmotivated. There is no daily meeting that you can have that's going to motivate the unmotivated, right? Clayton, what's the famous phrase? If you motivate an idiot, what do you have?
You got to hire the motivated. And again, for years, we did this all wrong. And you just got to hire people that are inherently just motivated. And it makes this whole process so much easier.
Well, it does. And you can't, even when you're at your peak, being able to hire well, you still have to have systems in place that recognize that when people are doing their job and they're not, and they know how long they're allowed to stay around if they're not doing their job. And so that's another call for another time, another video for another time. But accountability is not motivating the unmotivated. What it is it's promoting lead indicators versus lag indicators. So we all like to focus on closings, units, dollars, families served, we call it. We love to focus on that. But what I do today is not going to change those lag indicators today. Whatever closings I'm having today, it was from the activity that I did months ago. So what can I do today to make sure that those lag indicators in the future are where I want them to be? So lead indicators are what can I do today? And it's context. It's context. There's lots of forms of context. You can do everything from calls to direct message to text message to holding a business networking meeting and meeting with people talking about real estate. So what we found is that any agent, no matter what skill level, if they make 35 contacts a week, that is a two-way dialogue about real estate. Okay, so that's how we define a contact. If they make 35 contacts a week, any real estate agent, no matter what skill level, is going to be at a six-figure career if they do that consistently in a very short period of time. That time period does depend on their skill level. The ones with higher skill are going to get there quicker. The ones with lower skill are going to take a little bit of time to get there. So accountability, one more thing with accountability, other than measuring lead indicators, it's also permission based. So when we hire, we ask our candidates, are you willing to be held accountable to do the daily activities that are going to help you to reach your ultimate goal of why you got into real estate? And we remind them of that. So that's what accountability is. It's promotion of lead indicators. What am I going to do today? And it's permission based. So 3 days a week, we get together and we have squads. We've shared that on another video. You can catch that on our channels and on our platforms about what squad leaders look like. But if your team is less than 12 people today, you are the squad leader, right? And these daily huddles are for groups of 12 or less, right? And so, because there's just not enough time to get around other than that. They are 15 minutes. You must start them and end them on time, because people will not come to your meetings if you can't control how much of their day you're taking. So you have to commit. I'm starting on time and I'm ending on time, whether or not everybody's there. And I have an expectation that everybody will be there. Our expectation for our team is that they miss no more than 2 huddles a month. So 10 out of 12, we do 3 a week times 4 weeks is 12. And they miss no more than 2 huddles a month. That's the expectation for them, unless they're on vacation. If they get a free pass on weeks that they're not working. But for when they should be there, don't miss more than 2. And here's the format. It's very simple. It's number 1, accountability since the last meeting. Did you do what you said you were going to do on the last huddle? Did you do what you said you were going to do yesterday? And that's the third step, right? Is what are you going to do today that's going to move the needle in your business? And our job as coaches is to make sure that they are doing that. There's an lead indicator in there. It's not just getting through their admin checklist or any number of other things that happen. I got to review that contract. I got to do that inspection. The real work that's done is daily prospecting, right? That 35 contacts a week. For some agents, they can get away. They can have great careers with less than 35 a week, but they're doing something every day. And so the middle, step 1 is, did you do what you said you were going to do yesterday? Step 3 is, what are you going to do today that's most important? In the middle, if there's time, there's not always time in the 15 minutes, but in the middle, you can address the struggle. What's the struggle? What are you hearing people saying that they're having trouble getting done what they're supposed to get done? And that's where you as the coach can give a burst of information. This is not a full-on training session. Those are separate. What you might do is you might say, hey, it sounds like everybody's struggling today with closing the listing presentation. And so I'm going to send you a video or go to our training platform for how to do listings, or we're going to have a class on how to do listings. That's the extent of the coaching that you're giving. But it's very quick, 1, 2, 3. And by the way, step 1, really important. I learned this from a national level coach, and it's yes or no stories. Like, I don't want to hear why you didn't do what you didn't do. All I want to know is, did you do what you said you were going to do yesterday? And yes or no stories. And for those of us who have that D personality, for those of you familiar with the DISC profile, we love that. Like, we love just yes or no stories. Great. That's my accountability. And for good squad leaders, you'll keep a record of that. And you'll put up we have a little Google sheet that we'll put up every once in a while that shows green and red for people who said yes or no, right? And then we move straight into any kind of coaching, any kind of struggle. We might talk about biggest win during that coaching. We might talk about, what was your biggest win yesterday? Because we all have trouble remembering what was the biggest win, because we're drowning in all the things to do. We're drowning in the whirlwind, and we forget to celebrate. I don't know if you do that, Clayton, but I forget to celebrate. That's like one of my biggest issues that I've been working on, is making sure that I celebrate when I accomplish something. And so that can be your coaching for the day. That can be your step 2, is what's the biggest win? And then again, what's most important today? So it's a very simple rhythm. to do 3 times a week. Now, I also get asked, what about one-on-one time? Don't we need to get one-on-one time for accountability? Absolutely. 30 minutes a month is ideal. 30 minutes a quarter is minimum. For your top producers, you're going to want to meet at least 30 minutes, have a meeting that's 30 minutes a quarter that you're meeting with them to have that same format. Did you do what you said you were going to do last time that we met one-on-one? And what can I do? Here's where you're tracking. You generally will have some kind of scorecard tracking their goals for the year at that point. And then you'll ask, what can I do to help? And then you'll write down an action plan. So that's the simple format of daily huddles, of one-on-one meetings, and where you can have a rhythm of accountability. And it really is that simple. And that's the environment that you can provide for your team members.
Yep. Yeah, it's great stuff, John. And again, just what these are not, just to kind of wrap this up, is these are not gripe sessions. As the team leader, you don't allow griping. You just don't allow it to turn into that, because it can be derailed very quickly, and you want that energy to remain in a positive place. Also, this is not only great for your team agents, this is great for the team leader or for the squad leader, because you get to keep your finger on the pulse of your business. And we miss this for so many years in this business. Is why we want you as the team leader or the squad leader to understand how important these check-ins are, so you know what's actually going on with your people, and your people are staying engaged. So JT, great job as always. Guys, let's grow. Like these are the little pieces of the puzzle that when you put them all together can have a huge impact on your business. And we hope that it does. We'll see you next time.